Hey guys, how's it going? This is going to be the unboxing and review of the Technica AT-LP120-USB turntable. You just get the camera a little bit further back so you can see the whole box all at once. It's a rather large box, to put it mildly. Obviously got a picture of the unit here on the front. There's a lovely side view. The rear of the box. I know this is exciting. Shows everything it comes with. The other side of the box, right? Top of the box. And let's set this thing down gently. This side of the box. Shows off all kinds of stuff on it. Actually going to move the camera slightly closer now because we're going to be doing the unboxing here in a second. Now, as you may or may not have seen, the list price on this thing is $300. I had planned on getting this for several months, but I was able to pick this thing up today for about 230 bucks, which of course is a huge discount off of its normal price, so couldn't resist. Excuse me. So I went ahead and pulled the trigger on it for 230 bucks. Couldn't pass it up. Anyway, it is an extremely heavy unit. I believe it weighs about 26 pounds. That seems about right. So let's see what you get in the box. Let's open her up. And it looks like the first thing you see is the record mat. Let's go ahead and grab my trusty scissors here. This thing out. Come on. Okay. Still stuck on there by tape. Okay, so. Ooh, look, we got verbiage about the unit. I guess I probably might put this, in the store about, wonderful things about it to get you to want to buy the thing. Hey, look, we got more about the unit here. Exciting, right? Oh, it tells you how to quick start guide, the anti-skate and everything, counterweight. Oh, cool. And of course, this is the actual record mat itself. Obviously, one side says Technica, the other side is plain black. So, there's that. Now, as we peer even deeper into the abyss, let's see. Basically, all you see is styrofoam and the main unit here in some wrapping. So let's. All right, we're gonna have to do this sideways to get it out. Let me just scoot the camera back a little bit. Let's get in here. Get this unit out like so, and that is everything else in the container. Now pause for a second here, guys. Okay, guys, let's slide in a little closer here. And let's see the rest of what we got in here. Looks like we've got, this is all stuck on here by tape. Again, I'll grab my trusty scissors. Cut. Well, at least everything in this box is well protected. This appears to be the record platter. So let's go ahead and oh man. Again, packaging is tougher than me. Alright, so there's a close-up of the record platter out of the box. It's metal. It's real nice thick metal here. Nice. Okay. Next up. Oh man. Okay, let's see here. The easiest way to do this. But at least you guys have a real good idea if you decide to get one of these, what you're going to be facing if you do get this. Thanks for having the patience to sit through this. This is something I assume, I'll find out what later. I'm betting this holds the dust cover on. This is probably the hinges for the dust cover, I guess. Okay. This is one of the best protected pieces of consumer electronics I've ever bought in my life, guys. Okay, it looks like we got the mother load in here of accessories. Looks like we got instructions and whatnot. Let's open this up. Guessing that's the copy of Audacity every turntable manufacturer throws in. Ooh, Audio Technica catalog. Standard USB cord. And of course your audio cables. I'll probably get better cables in the future, but for now these will do. Instructions, warranty, all that I'm assuming. I wonder what the cartridge is. I haven't seen that yet. Okay, looks like more audio cables there. Let's see here. Okay, this is obviously the main unit here. I don't see anything else. Found some hidden stuff in here, guys. Looks like we got the AC power lead right there. Here we go, cartridge, guessing counterweight and 45 adapter. So, and this is the dust cover in here. Let's go ahead and take the wrapping off. And there you go. Ooh, nice and clear. Anyway, guys, I'm going to pause right here, read some instructions, figure some stuff out, and I will be back after I get after I get this in kind of a ready assembled state. I will assemble it on camera, so I'll see you guys in a bit. Okay, guys, I'm going to go ahead and attempt to assemble this thing following the instructions that are on this wonderful thing. It's basically, it was with the mat. So, what is step 1? Insert head shell and tighten. Okay, well, as I'm knocking my stuff around here. Obviously, we got the cartridge right here. Or yeah, real nice. I dig this. I like the way it looks quite a bit. So, let's go ahead and angle the camera towards it. Zoom in a bit so you can kind of see what I'm doing. Okay, so let's go ahead and grab the tone arm here and let's just trying to get a feel for this, guys. This is the first time I've ever done this. So it looks like I guess it goes like so. And then, oh, I see. And that tightens it in. Look at that. Head shell installed. Now, I'll take that off last, the needle protector. I'm guessing probably step 2 is, oh, look at that. Install counterweight. All right. This is the counterweight. How do I do that? By gently twisting it into the rear of the tone arm. Okay. Let's do it. Maybe. Ah, there we go. Ah, cool. Yeah, I probably want it on the back of the tone arm. There we go. Nice. Okay. Very cool. Alright. Here we go. Okay. That's done. Oh, according to this, I want some of the metal sticking out the back. Okay, well, whatever. Let's do that. So you picture it sticking out some. There we go. Now it's on there. Alright. Place step 5. Well, I am skipping some steps like anti-skate and all that. I'll show that off a little bit later. Now I want to place the turntable platter on the center spindle. Okay. Let's go ahead and do that. Ooh, that's cool. I like that. Nice. Very nice. Alright. There we go. I'm going to go ahead. This is the 45 adapter. Go ahead and just put that in this little spot. Oh, like that. Okay. Now, blah, 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 blah. Balance tone arm, all that. Yeah, I will do adjustments here in a bit. And next step is the record mat. Personally, I like the logo, even though it is an ad. I like the way that looks. That looks pretty cool. Alright, so I think the only thing left to do at this point is to install the dust cover. So let's do that real quick, shall we? Let's. Okay. See how these going. Okay, like that. Alright. Let me turn this around so you can see exactly what I'm doing here. And thusly. Alright. Now, let's grab the dust cover here, and I guess we just insert like so and close. And this, my friends, is a... But before I turn it around, there is just one small complaint I have about this unit. Well, two things. One, if I had my way, right, I would have had them remove the USB functionality, because that's not incredible. I am going to experiment with it a little bit, but it's not something I'm going to use much. I'd have them remove the USB functionality and maybe put a headphone amp in the front instead. That would have, to me, been a better value than this. Whatever. And also the fact that, now I'll have to read the manual to fully confirm this, before I come back. But it looks like there's no, as far as I can tell, there's no audio jacks on it. This is the audio output, so you're limited by these cables. That's going to be an inherent limitation. I'm sure this thing still sounds amazing. I've heard nothing but good things about the sound on this thing. That is a disappointment too, that you don't have, you know, the red and white jacks back there to put whatever cables you want on it. You're kind of limited by these. But c'est la vie. If somebody can comment on that, let me know about the whole thing. Oh, of course, plug the power cord in. I haven't done that. Here's the power cord. Before I plug this thing in, I'm going to read up on the adjustments and all that. And I'll probably do some up-close camera action on that so you guys can see what that looks like. This was just a general, ooh, look, I'm doing the basic putting it together. You can see what it looks like kind of thing. So this is the back, and let's turn it around, fully assembled. I'll tell you what, it's pretty darn heavy, guys. And this is the front, and it looks absolutely great. Love the way this thing looks. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and do a bit more reading in the instructions, come back, and we'll do some more. See you guys in a second. Actually, guys, I just came right back because I realized you didn't get a great wide-angle view of this thing. This is the front. Here it is with the dust cover up. And just in case you want to see. Oh, and of course it has adjustable feet, you know, on the bottom. And yeah, here's the back. Really looks nice from both angles. Of course, you'd mostly be looking at this thing from the front. Anyway, see you guys in a second. Okay, guys. I followed some guides I found on the internet, read the instructions, and I managed to get this thing adjusted correctly. Hopefully, some of this information I'm going to give you guys is helpful to vinyl neophytes like myself. If you get a unit like this, one of the things you have to set on this turntable is the anti-skate, set to 2 grams, and I also set the counterweight to 2 grams because that is the recommended settings for the cartridge that is included with this turntable. So let's watch this thing in operation, shall we? We got all these nice lights here, and we'll go ahead and start it. Obviously right now it's playing at 33 speed, 45 speed. Oh, the speed control's right here. To show that off. Right there's 33, 45. If you push both, it actually plays it at 78 speed. I don't have any 78s. I probably won't be collecting those, so it doesn't matter. Anyway, I'm going to pause real quick, guys. Oh yeah, guys, before I went any further in this, I wanted to make a note for this. The 78s, you should probably get, if you do want to play back 78s on this turntable, you should probably get a different cartridge and needle, something that's designed for 78s. This isn't really designed for 78s. Just a word if you do collect those types of records. Anyway, let me show you some more cool stuff it has. This is the start and stop button. And as you can see right now, basically the strobe lights look a certain way because it's playing at exactly 33 1/3. Because it's, you know, now if I adjust this, the red goes light, or basically you can make this thing, you know, play slower or faster if you so desire. I'm sure when I get some cheap LPs I'll be experimenting with this for fun. So, and you can see now the lights are at a different speed, and the reason it does that is it's basically to indicate that it's not exactly at, you know, one of the recommended speeds. Because even at 45, we'll do some pitch adjustment here. As you can see, it changes the way the lights. That is a neat guide to kind of show you. I like that feature. It's fun to watch. And of course, right now it's playing forward. if you really want, hit this button here. Now it'll start playing backwards. Good stuff. Nice little, if you want to ever listen to your records backwards, you can on this turntable without any real trouble. Let's go ahead and just get it playing forwards again, just for fun. And yeah, I really dig this thing in operation. It looks pretty neat. Gotta pause again, guys. People are walking through. Alright, guys. Gotta love all these interruptions. Anyway, and of course, you know, we got a pretty simple... The tone arm there is S-shaped, which, I don't know, I guess that's a good thing. And yeah, you got your target light there for, I guess, the stylus. So let's go ahead and move the tone arm over, and we'll actually drop the needle. Are we? Oh wait, we're on 45. Better make sure we're on 33 first. Correct speed for the record. There we go. 33. We're locked in at 33 1/3. Awesome. That's what we want. Yep, correct speed. Okay, I thought that might spin it a little bit fast. So, go over, and obviously we got the tone arm above the record. Let's go ahead and get that. I think that's on like beginning, so let's go ahead and drop the needle. Very slowly gets down. Let's see if we can hear the music actually coming off this thing. I can barely hear it. I have no idea if the microphone is going to pick this up or not. I'll try to... Nope, I don't think we're going to hear it. So, anyway, yeah, that's pretty much going to wrap up kind of... Let me go ahead and lift the needle off, slide that out, and we'll stop the platter. Lower this thing. Oh, I guess if you guys want to see what it looks like in operation with the dust cover on, why not, right? I'm not going to bother dropping the needle, but here's a bit of an overhead view. Obviously, I haven't really listened to this turntable yet, but I'm looking forward to it. So anyway, what I'm going to do now, guys, is I'm obviously going to stop the recording for a while. I'm going to do some vinyl rips, as it were. I'm going to live with this thing for a little bit, and I'll come back with my full review and opinion, but so far I am pretty impressed with this turntable, even though apparently from what I understand it's supposed to sound great. We'll find out. See you guys in a bit. Okay, guys, I've had the turntable for a week now, so I've had some time to live with it. I've played my records on it a couple of times. Now, what do I think of the turntable? I think for what I paid for it, $230, I'd say even at its list price of $300, I still think the value you get is pretty high. The performance of the turntable, at least to my ears, granted I'm not a vinyl file, but to me, it sounds great. I think the sound quality that the turntable produces is really good. You know, so no complaints there. Basically the type of folks that I would recommend this table to are either A, people who are brand new to the vinyl hobby like myself, because it's ready to go out of the box. Well, after some very slight assembly. You know, I would say it should appeal to that type of folk, or people who, you know, maybe have a whole bunch, or maybe not a whole bunch, people who have some records and they want to listen to them again, and you know, this is a great turntable to revisit the vinyl hobby if you've fallen out and you're thinking about, hey, maybe I want to do it again. It would be a good table for those folks too. Now, would I recommend this to hardcore vinyl files? Probably not, because a lot of you guys out there probably have big time preferences on your turntable already. I've seen a lot of shit on internet forums or whatever where it's funny how much infighting there is in the vinyl hobby about which turntables are good, which ones are bad. And I know this one that I got, some people regard it, in some places it's approved, in other places they're like, oh, that thing's a fucking piece of shit. So really, it's if you're an open-minded type of vinyl file, maybe it's worth a look. If not, you just keep walking on by, right? So basically, generally I like the table. I'll say, what I like about it first, and then I'll say what I don't like about it. What I really like about it, like I said, the sound out of the box, to me, it sounds great. Okay. I like the fact that it's highly upgradable. It, so like I said, if you're new to the vinyl hobby, take it out of the box, it's going to sound great. And if you decide to go deeper into the hobby, this table can go with you, because you can upgrade almost everything on the table. You can upgrade the counterweight if you want to. Let me know in the comments below why you might want to do that, because to me, all it does is set tracking for, so I don't know why you would need a different counterweight than the one it comes with. So let me know in the comments below why the hell that might make a difference. That I don't quite get. The other upgrades I do get. New cartridge head shell and stylus. If you replace those, in digital terms, it'd be like getting a better DAC, right? And also, you can obviously bypass the internal preamp if you want to, and hook this thing up to an external phono preamp, or if you have a older receiver, an amp that has a phono preamp in it, you can plug it in there and experiment with the sound. So basically, this unit has a lot of possibilities for different sounds, which again is great if you want to go deeper into the vinyl hobby. I think I probably eventually will experiment with some of this stuff, but it's a bit early days for me to do that yet. And what I don't like about this turntable is really there's only two negatives. One is the fact that it has permanently attached RCA cables. I don't know what the hell Audio-Technica was thinking when they did that. It doesn't make sense. I think because this is a clone of I think it's the Technics SL1200, and I think that one had, again, let me know if I'm wrong, guys. I think that one had permanently attached RCA cables. They're like, oh, we have to make it exactly the same. I don't know. To me, that's just plain stupid. Because if the RCA cables ever fail, you're gonna have to crack the unit open, bust out a soldering gun, and do some shit to get new RCA cables to work, and that's way more complicated than just plugging in some new fucking RCA cables into connectors. That, to me, was a totally boneheaded move on their part, but whatever. And also, apparently, when you turn the preamp off, when you put the switch in the off position, somehow it still remains the signal path or whatever, and supposedly reduces some sound. Whatever. I've heard some some vinyl rips people have done with and without the preamp of this table, because this is a big topic of discussion for this table, and people have actually removed the preamp and all. I'm not going to do that. I honestly, in my opinion, I think it sounds totally fine as is. I may eventually buy a different external preamp just to experiment a bit, but I don't think I'm ever going to tear open the table and rip out the preamp.
whatever. But it is a little bit of a pain in the ass that, trying to buy, with the switch on the back, it doesn't totally bypass it. But it's not a huge complaint. So yeah, I have some complaints about the table, but I have many, many more positives than negatives. So basically, who do I think this table would appeal to? I think it appeals to basically two classes of people. One class of person is people who are just getting into the vinyl hobby, vinyl neophytes like myself. Okay, because it sounds great out of the box, and of course it's highly upgradable, right? And you're willing to spend more than bargain basement prices to get a decent turntable. And I think the price or performance value of this thing, even at the list price of $300, I think it's in a pretty sweet spot. So I think it would appeal to those types of folks. I also think it could appeal to people who maybe were in the vinyl hobby at one point, kind of fell out of the vinyl hobby, and they want a table to play their existing records or whatever. Maybe you have some records and you haven't listened to them for 10 years or whatever, or 15 years. This would be a good turntable to get back into the hobby. The type of person I don't think this will appeal to would be like really hardcore vinyl files, because most of those folks are going to have some pretty rigid preferences about whether, what they're going to think of this table. And I've looked at internet forums, and they're fighting over this shit. They're like, some people are like, oh, this table's great. Other people are like, oh, this table's a piece of shit. Whatever, referring to the 120, of course. It's polarizing on some sites. Whatever. Personally, I think it's great, but then again, I wouldn't be allowed into their little club. So anyway, that's pretty much it. And just a side note, I did get a couple more records since I've had this table. Now, one of the records I got, I already uploaded to, I did a vinyl rip of this on the channel already. And I got it for a relatively reasonable price. I paid $16 or $17 for it. Whatever. And then I also got this, and for $8 used at Half Price Books. And I love the way it looks. Notice I said the way it looks. The way it sounds is a bit of a different story. Since it's a picture disc, it's extremely susceptible to surface noise, much more so than my black vinyl that I have. Well, again, I only have two records that are, it's a huge difference. The black vinyl there's not a whole lot of surface noise. There's not many snaps, crackles, and pops. On the picture disc, though, it's a lot. Anyway, last note. What am I putting my records in? What am I keeping them in? Right now, I'm going the teenager route. And I'm keeping them in this crate right now. It's just this very simple plastic crate. My whole big collection of 3 records, right? And as far as what do I plan on collecting in the future record-wise, well, I plan on mostly sticking with used vinyl. The cost of new is very prohibitive for me, which I'm going to talk about. I've decided that because I've got a record turntable now, I'm going to revisit the topic of vinyl versus CD. In this, I'll talk a little bit about the different, the pros and cons of each a little bit more now that I'm a little more educated on it, since I actually own a turntable and I own some records. And I'm going to have audio samples in there, basically, where I play some from the vinyl rip that I made. And I actually copied CDs the same way, which of course I will detail in that video. So anyway, bottom line, do I recommend this turntable? Yes to certain people and no to other people, right? So anyway, that's pretty much going to wrap this up. I really hope you guys enjoyed watching. As always, if you did like what you see, please thumbs up, share, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Thanks a whole lot for watching. I'll catch you guys next time. One final note, guys. I forgot to mention this in the other part. I apologize. I know that when I was setting up the turntable and everything, it was sometimes my head was blocking it, sometimes I was blocking it. I know my video is not going to be like the greatest guide ever on how to properly assemble and set up this turntable. If you really want that information, I would just recommend doing a YouTube search for it. There's tons of videos out there on how to properly do it. That's way better than my amateurish approach. I just did it just so you could really just see what a layperson experiences when they unbox a thing and put it together and all that. Anyway, that's it. See ya.